Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This video right here is just inspired by a lot of things that I've been seeing lately. And as I've said in other videos, when I see a running theme, it lets me know, hey, I think the community could benefit from me just addressing this on a larger platform, and then everybody can hear this. I just read a response under one of my videos, and that just was like the nail the final nail in the coffin. I'm like, you know what, just go ahead and make this video, Lakia. And the survivor was talking about how the narcissist finally told her, hey, I'm never going to marry you. I never liked you. So you can stop waiting for me, basically. They literally came out and said it. And I do say that narcissists telling themselves, but I also say in more than one way. So yes, the narcissist finally verbally admitted this to the survivor, but the survivor then says, well, isn't it cold-hearted? You know, they're telling me this after 20 years. So that's when I have to go ahead and make this video to address the passive nature of codependence. Okay, because, you know, if you are sitting around waiting for somebody else to be active in what you want in life, you're sitting around waiting for somebody else to see the value in you, that's giving them all the power. Now you're just passive. You're just going along with this relationship until they say it's over. Even if you have a different agenda, you're just still taking what they're offering you. You know, of course, we have to think of our self-worth, our self-esteem, and we're going to have to really reevaluate our standards and our boundaries. I mean, is 20 years adequate enough time for someone to know whether they want to marry you or not? Why on earth does they deserve that kind of time to figure things out? I don't have time is way too precious, number one. And this is just one example of the passiveness of a codependent. You know, we're giving the authority to the other person to make all these decisions over our lives because we're enmeshed with them and because we're putting the relationships before our own desires. And that's why we get resentful at the end. But we have to take some accountability when we're, you know, because at a certain point, yeah, that person is stringing you along. In this particular example of the guy, of the woman dating the guy for 20 years, he never marries her, and then he just finally just says it. But he said it in his behaviors. It really doesn't take that much time. So we're just overly patient and is being the sacrificial lamb. Is really being the sacrificial lamb, is not even putting ourselves last. We're just at someone else's mercy and will. And this is what we have to work on, guys. This is what needs to stop, or else you're not going to get what you want. All those decades, you know, waiting for this one person when it was clear. And, you know, I did a video on what we have in common with the narcissist. And in it, you know, I really broke it down. A lot of the things that we have in common. And one of them is the inability to see the unavailability of the person that we want to be with. That person was not trying to be there. They weren't trying to give her that relationship. And it should have been recognized before 20 years. So at that point, it's like, how much of it can we put on that narcissist and how much of it are we going to put on the survivor? And granted, we do better when we know better, but it just lets us know, you know, what state we were operating out of to be able to stay in that particular situation, guys. All right. So I just want to really have you guys be mindful about this passiveness and how it's not going to get you what you want. You have to have that mind frame, like, are you with it or you not? And it's okay if you got to let them go, but it's that codependency that needs to be healed in you so that you'll be comfortable with letting go of the situation. It's the codependency in us that needs to be healed that's making it hard for us to let go of the situation. So just think about that. What things in your life are you being overly patient with? Are you giving someone way too much time, authority, and power over in your life? And how much are you willing to still invest in a situation when they're not investing in you, when you're not getting what you want in return? And when is enough enough? When have they had enough time to show and prove themselves to you? Let alone when are they ready to marry you? Why would you still want to marry them if they wanted to sleep on you? It's an indication of the value. And when I say sleep on you, take you for granted, treat you like a, be nonchalant about it, like you're just going to be there waiting forever. And we get so codependent that they end up breaking up with us when they've done a million things that we should have broken up with them and ended the relationship over. But they're the ones that still get to, at the end of the day, break up because the codependency is that strong within us. And then it's just not increasing our emotional maturity because we understand that actually it's them knowing that we will walk away that will produce the results that we want if they care about us walking away. So she could have got that narcissist to marry her 9 times out of 10 if she was willing to walk away and he cared about that supply. Now, would that have been a happy, successful relationship? I don't know. Maybe if the codependency never got healed, it may make them feel like they're thriving and that the relationship is good. But the result of marriage may have came. But because of the passiveness, but because you're giving them a chance to take all the time they want to decide if you're good enough and if they want to make the effort, and they're going to do it and take it. So, when someone's unavailable, emotionally unavailable, physically unavailable, um, sexually unavailable in the relationship the way that they need to be, you have to financially unavailable. There's many ways to be unavailable. But what's good enough for you as opposed to what's good enough for them? Because codependents are operating out of what's good enough for them, thinking about other people first yet again. So, let's move out of this passiveness, guys. You can get better, but only if you deserve it and only if you go for it. Okay? People that go for what they want tend to get it. When you place it in other people's hands, that's giving away your control and power at that point. Because at that point, she could have just said, you know what, I'm not willing. We've been in this relationship for 2 years now. You're not willing to talk about marriage to me, and you could even talk to them about this from day one. And then watch their behaviors. You know what? I don't like the flow of this. It's not moving at the pace that I like. This isn't working for me. And then it might cause a panic in them, like, oh, like, look, I didn't want the relationship to end. What's going on? Well, I wanted someone I could settle down with, someone that's not afraid to actually take the next step of commitment, and someone that sees the value in me and knows and realizes that I'm wife material or that I'm husband material, you see? And either they're going to respect that or they don't and be willing to bounce or have them bounce if they don't. It's really that simple. All right, guys, as usual, welcome to my channel. All the new people, feel free to subscribe, hit that like button. Let's get out of being passive in life. After all these experiences with the narcissist, you got to get fed up of that. And you're like, you know what? I'm ready to get what I deserve now. I am ready to get what I deserve. I'm not going to accept nothing else less. I don't care who I got to cut off, who I got to let go of. Because I know my emotional maturity lets me know that an ending is a beginning. Letting them go is an opening for someone else to come into the space. Even if it's just myself, even if I need to learn myself first and foremost, even if I need to date myself and fall in love with myself first and foremost, so that I can have the self-respect, the dignity, the self-worth, and the self-esteem, and to know how to stand my ground and command what I want in life out of people, or else. Or else. All right, guys. I hope that you can take this message, share it with people who you think could benefit from it. There's over 500 videos on this channel to help increase emotional maturity, understand narcissistic abuse, understand psychology and relationships with people, places, and things, because that's what we have all day long. We need to be more than book smart. And they don't teach emotional maturity in schools, guys. All right, with that being said, thank you for tuning in, and never give up on yourself. If you have been that person that's been the doormat that has been on everybody else's timeline but yours, you can change that. You could change that in 1 second by changing your perception and reprogramming yourself in that way. Change your perception in the way that you approach your relationships, the way that you maintain them. Oh, you changed on me. I needed to. Doing it your way wasn't working. I have to do it my way. This is my life. They can get down or lay down at that point. Be okay with that. Okay, we need to get that gangsta out of us. And I ain't talking about going out and getting an AK-47, being violent or none of that. But get gangsta about, you know what, I'm in my purpose. I'm on my journey. I recognize how precious time is and how fleeting it is. I don't play with my time with people. I don't play with my heart with people. I don't, all the boundaries that you have and your stand, I don't play with that. I don't play around with that. And I'm not going to let you play around with it because I don't play around with it. See, they're able to play around with it because you're playing around with it. But when you start taking it serious, you draw the line. They could do whatever they want over there, but they're not doing it with you. Okay? So we got to get gangsta in that way. Come on, get some assertive. I talk to people. I don't want to be aggressive. Sometimes you need to. Does that mean you got to go curse somebody out? Does that mean you have to step out of character? No, but it means you can be assertive. You have to learn how to be assertive. You need to learn how to say no. You need to tell somebody that's not good enough for me when it's the case. I mean, what are you biting your tongue for, people? It's that programming, it's that old programming that's not working and not effective and leading to you being unhappy, unfulfilled, and everything that you don't want. I do help people with these things. If you struggle with this stuff, I have tons of videos here, and I do one-on-one coaching. Go down in my description. You can find out information about what I do and offer. I have a support group over on Facebook for survivors of narcissistic abuse as well. You're free to join that and box me first. All right. With that being said, guys, never give up on your work. Keep doing that shadow work. Keep evolving. Keep striving. All right. And until next time, please take care.